And that gets us to the second layer, which is higher level review. So can you explain to the viewers what exactly is a higher level review?
Yes, sir. So when we're talking about a higher level review is very, very, very substantial in importance, right? So let's say that claim that was submitted by Veteran X was denied again after you actually resubmitted medical evidence. Well, at this point in time, a higher level review is going to be the claim that you're submitting that has been previously denied. And now you want a senior adjudicator to be able to review these things, more in the realm of decision review officers, right? These adjudicators have some really major experience to be able to get into this, role. So with that being said, basically a team of adjudicators are able to review your file, and these are senior adjudicator. This will be a senior adjudicator, and they're going to review your file at a whole, okay, at a kind of a bird's eye view with experience and also application of law, again, regulations, CFR, and also the Warren's Manual.
Okay, definitely. All right, so now they're reviewing that information, and typically for a higher level review claim, how long does that usually take the process? Is that going to be longer than doing a supplemental claim? What can veterans expect out of a higher level review?
Well, typically a higher level review is going to be about 4 months or so, 4 or 5 months or so. And again, that's just a typical average, right? And that's what the kind of the VA says. But you have some that get done a lot sooner because they could be shorter, longer. It doesn't. It depends, right? Like all case files. However, on average, we can kind of count on that.
Okay, so I'm submitting a higher level review because I filed a claim. I may have done a supplemental claim prior to. I guess the question is, can I file a higher level review before submitting a supplemental claim?
So yes, you can. So if it was denied, you have 1 year's time frame to be able to submit that higher level review, take it up to that, again, senior adjudicated team to be able to review your file. And again, so when we talk about supplemental, there's different components that are being, reviewed. But when you go for a high level review, guess what? There's no new evidence that's going to be submitted to be reviewed. So they're basically taking a fresh set of eyes at a bird's eye view with law and fact to be able to adjudicate that claim. So specifically when we're talking about that, taking consideration, there is nothing that is going to be adjudicated that is new or considered that is new.
Okay, so they're not considering anything that's new with that higher level review claim. So now, are there, I guess, certain other nuances that veterans should be informed about in regards to submitting that higher level review?
Well, I would tell you this. When you are submitting a higher level review, there's always going to be instances that something has probably not been completed or adjudicated properly when you send it out to a higher level review. And what do I mean by that? Because some veterans, you may get something called they're correcting an error. You may get a notification that they're correcting an error. And what that does is it puts some people up in arms, right? So, and that error sometimes may have nothing to do with disproving or approving your claim, or it was probably just a process that was missed, that was supposed to be completed. So, but it really depends, because when we talk about these files, veterans, it could be very, very complex sometimes. So when we're talking about sending it up, it is being reviewed by some of the most senior adjudicators there. And there could be a lot of overturning of things and information requests. Please fulfill these information requests as fast as possible. The faster you're able to get your information over, the faster they're able to adjudicate your file. So And not promising that. Obviously, that's a federal agency. They can put the gas on it or slow it down. But what I am saying is, if you want to make sure that this process goes smoothly, try to cooperate as quick as possible and comply.
No, absolutely. And obviously we're on the VA news site and learning more about the higher level review process. They just had a recent article, and we have it on the screen for those who are actually watching and able to see here, regarding informal conferences during that higher level review process. So I just wanted you to be able to educate the veteran in the community here regarding exactly what is an informal conference.
Yes, so an informal conference is basically a conference that may clear up some misunderstandings, right? It gives opportunity where the veteran can be able to speak with a claims processor, and that may not be a rater, that may be someone who is connected to an adjudicator, right? So when we talk about that, we want to be very specific. So when you go in and saying, hey, I need to be granted because of X, Y, and Z, well, sometimes they may not be the people that grant it, okay? So let's take that into consideration. But think of it as a phone call, okay? Think of it as a phone call, and you want to be able to provide clarity to what may happen in service, what may is aggravating you today, or what could actually potentially help the file and some misnomers that was uncovered, right? So with that being said, that is going to be simply a conference where you're being able to say your piece and make sure that they understand exactly what's happening, where it's not anything that is going to be kind of at a bird's eye view, right? We want to be very distinct and very concise throughout this process. And veterans, when I tell you be concise, make sure that your information that you provide is in alignment with the information that is within the file, right? There's so many different portions of the file. We want to be concise as possible. How we be concise as possible is consistently having your records. How many times we can say it? Make sure that you have your records to understand everything in the sense of what's going on with your diagnosis, your issue, and what transpired during service, and you should just do just fine.
No, absolutely. So now when you're describing the informal conference, kind of puts me in the mind of like a compensation and pension exam. So what I wanted to, I guess, think about there, and the question that I want to have answered for the community here is that with the higher level review, would they ever schedule a compensation and pension exam?
With higher level, yeah, that may happen. That may occur. You may had an opportunity where you didn't get a compensation and pension exam. There were adjudicators that closed your file. You didn't get an exam. So now an exam was missed. And now since the exam is missed, well, guess what? You qualified or you meet the metrics of that supplemental claim that was denied, and now you met the new and also relevant portion of that's required before actually scheduling the exam, and now the higher level review adjudicators may go ahead and order that exam for you.
Okay. So is that like more common, or is it a 50-50 shot, or it just depends on the situation?
Circumstantial. It's always circumstantial. So we always want to make sure that we take into consideration of the circumstantial issues. It's circumstantial. But what I will tell you is this: if you have met the metrics that you feel strongly of new and relevant evidence, it's more than likely probably going to lean to your side and really being able to achieve that exam. So because there is going to be slight subjectivity in this decision. So I would always make sure that if you feel as though that it meets the new and relevant evidence, you should and be able to achieve receiving that exam.
Okay, receiving the exam. So what I guess I want to understand there is, because I know typically with the high level review, you're not submitting new evidence.
Yes, you're not. So I was again providing an example if it was previously denied for under supplemental claim.
Okay.
Yeah. So There's no new evidence that will be submitted. The only new evidence that will be considered are going to be kind of the informal conference, right? Because again, they may want to clear up some iniquities that was in the file that instead of guessing, you have the opportunity to be able to discuss, and that's something that's offered to you. But what I will tell you is, if you're expecting your file to go as quick as possible, that's probably not going to be the best way to go, right? Because you have to get scheduled and so on and so forth. It is a process. But what I will tell you is it's going to be one of the best options in regards for clarity.
Okay, for the higher level review, and informal conference is something that you may want to pursue.
Yeah. And again, it really depends. It really depends. Typically depends on, like I said, complexity of files.
Okay, and then also for the clarity there, so sometimes with the high level review, if they saw a certain error or omission in the previous decision, they may request that additional exam.
They may request an additional exam. They may not. It just really depends.
Okay. And why I want to make sure veterans understand that is because, sometimes they're looking forward to certain processes, right? And they're looking at the timeline of saying, hey, well, okay, once this happens, then I know they're closer to a decision or different things. And, everybody's talking to their buddy and getting that advice. And it's like, well, I submitted a higher level review and I got a CMP exam, and this other veteran's thinking their higher level review is going to be denied because they didn't get a CMP exam.
Yeah. And you may be very surprised of the person that did not receive a CMP exam of being granted, right? Because you met the requirements that someone could have possibly overlooked.
Got it. Okay, so they could have overlooked it there. And so the other thing that I wanted to make sure with the higher level reviews and covering that is just regarding the process and the steps, right? Because I've seen it where sometimes veterans will file the higher level review, then will send you a letter of saying, hey, well, it's all denied, or some things are denied, but we do identify that we did have an error here. So wanted you to kind of talk to them a little bit about that nuanced process, right? Because you may get a decision letter that doesn't actually have a decision for your higher level review. It's just saying like, oh yeah, we messed up, but we're not going to tell you what our decision is. We just know we messed up. So I don't know how they know they messed up if they didn't review it yet, but they're sending a letter saying they messed up, but they don't have a decision.
Yeah. Again, there's so many different notification letters that go out. Some may be very confusing. Some may be very informative. And that's what I always urge veterans to do is read their notification letter, right? Again, every piece of mail that comes in the mail isn't a decision, okay? It is to be able to inform you and also to be able to really equip you with the information that you need to know. So when we're talking about a notification letter of that fact, when we're talking about a higher level review, as you mentioned, and again, in regards to denials and also correcting an error. So there are steps and processes that when you go through a claim that you must meet to be by law to be able to deny or approve a claim, okay? Because we can be considered on the other side too. So when we talk about high level reviews, it is not always going to benefit you at times because now opening a claim or a previous decision that was denied could also open it for scrutiny and also reduction, right? So it's very important that you seek the help and guidance you need. However, when we're talking about a notification letter of that fact, if there is denials and also there may be an issue that they're correcting an error. Now that error correction doesn't necessarily happen itself. There's processes that they need to actually to be able to transmit, to be able to satisfy the policies and regulations and laws before they're able to either approve you or deny you. If there was medical records that was missed, that was not reviewed in the file, by law and by regulation, you must be able to provide the veteran the duty to assist, right? The VA has a duty to assist you in garnishing those records. So now, if they skipped or bypassed that process, or bypassed the process on the second nature again, well, guess what? They need to correct that error before they deny you.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So no, that's very good information. So in other words, just because they said they have a duty to assist error, that means, hey, we didn't help you secure your records or this, that, and that. So we're going to go try to help you, and then we're still going to deny the claim.
Possibly. But they may also approve it because now they garnish those records. So it's but that's just one instance. There's so many other instances that could apply to that same scenario. But in that instance, they need to garnish these records so they can be able to either support or not support your file.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, at least you know at that point, if they have identified an error, whatever that error is, your claim still has life, right?
Yes.
So it hasn't been denied, hasn't been closed out, so there's still a fight to be had at that point.
Yes, true indeed.
And so something else that you hinted on there while you were talking was around a higher level review and it not just being for denied conditions, right? So that's something that you talked about. So just wanted to go more into why a veteran may file a higher level review claim.
There could be many instances, right? There could be effective date issues, right? There can be percentage assignments. There could be obviously the overturn a denial, okay? And there's many other issues that actually a higher level review applies when we're talking about the VA and its appealing processes, okay? There's other benefits that are applied that also apply to higher level review as well. So if you are simply basically, going after a certain benefit, and it could be a benefit of caregivers, right? Having the opportunity for your spouse, significant other, or family member to supporting you as a veteran, as a caregiver, and you're denied. Well, there's an appeal process with that as well. Okay, there's a supplemental appeal process and there's a higher level review appeal process. So it does not only apply to VA compensation and pension.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Kenneth. Community, prepare to compete. We out. Peace.